Britain had always been a place where dreams and destiny collided under bright stage lights, but on this particular night inside the iconic theatre of Britain's Got Talent, something extraordinary was about to happen, something the audience, judges, and everyone watching at home would remember for years. The show had seen countless singers over the seasons, some brilliant, some unforgettable, but none would carry a presence quite like the quiet 17-year-old girl from Whitstable who stood backstage, clutching a seashell necklace in trembling fingers. Her name was Amelia Hart, a girl raised in a small coastal town where the world moved slowly, and where dreams often remain just that, dreams. Growing up, Amelia's life was a patchwork of school, cafe shifts, helping her exhausted mother, and caring for her younger brother Noah. Since their father passed away, the family learned to move forward in a rhythm that wasn't easy, but Amelia always found ways to keep them smiling. Music had been her secret sanctuary, her refuge from the chaos. She sang when no one was home, sang on lonely clifftops overlooking the ocean, sang softly to Noah when he couldn't sleep. Her voice was delicate yet powerful, raw yet angelic, and full of emotion she rarely showed in words. But she never planned to share it with the world. That decision wasn't hers. One evening, without telling her, Noah had recorded her singing in their living room, just her, a dim lamp, and a notebook of lyrics. He submitted it as an audition tape. When Amelia discovered what he'd done, she had panicked, angry and terrified. But Noah looked up at her with innocent certainty and said, "Amy, you're special. People need to hear you." Somehow, those words broke through her fear. She agreed to audition only because she didn't want to disappoint him. Now backstage, with the roar of the audience echoing through the thick curtains, she felt her heart pounding against her ribs like a wild drum. The stage manager approached and said, "Amelia Hart, you're up next." Her breath caught in her throat. She touched the seashell necklace Noah had given her, once her father's, and whispered to herself, "Just breathe." The lights dimmed in the theater, and a single spotlight illuminated the massive stage. As Amelia walked out, the audience saw a shy girl with long brown hair, soft hazel eyes, and a nervous smile. The judges studied her curiously: Simon Cowell, Amanda Holden, Alicia Dixon, and Bruno Tonioli, all waiting to hear what she had to offer. Simon's voice broke the silence. "Hello. What's your name?" "Amelia Hart," she answered softly. "And why are you here today?" Amanda asked, smiling gently. Amelia hesitated, then spoke with quiet honesty. "My brother, he believes in me more than I believe in myself. I'm here because of him." The room softened. The judges exchanged looks, sensing something honest and vulnerable in her answer. Simon nodded. "Well, we hope your brother was right. Good luck." The music began, soft, elegant, the opening chords of "I Will Always Love You." Amelia inhaled, closed her eyes, and released the first note. From the moment she sang, the world seemed to stop. Her voice floated across the theater like something otherworldly. It wasn't loud or dramatic for the sake of drama. It was controlled yet emotional, fragile yet deeply powerful. Each note carried a story, like she had lived 100 lifetimes of heartache and hope. Her tone was pure, almost angelic, but with a depth that made people feel something in their chest. Within seconds, the audience fell completely silent. Amanda's hands covered her mouth, Alicia leaned forward, Bruno froze mid-motion, and even Simon's stern expression softened. It was rare for a voice to stun him this quickly. As Amelia moved through the chorus, her voice soared, not in a flashy, show-off way, but with soul, sincerity, and a haunting beauty that wrapped around every heart in the room. Tears began streaming down the faces of audience members. Backstage, Noah squeezed their mother's hand with excitement. "This is it," he whispered. "She's doing it." When Amelia reached the final note, it drifted into the air like a soft breeze before fading into silence. And for a brief, magical moment, no one moved. No one breathed. Then the theater erupted. A roar of applause surged like a tidal wave. Amelia's hands shook, tears filled her eyes. She had done it, she had finally let the world hear her voice. But something even greater was about to happen. Amanda Holden's eyes glistened with emotion. She looked at Amelia, then at the golden buzzer. Before anyone could predict it, she slammed her hand down. Golden confetti blasted into the air, raining down over Amelia in shimmering waves. The audience screamed with joy. Amelia cried openly, overwhelmed, barely able to breathe as the glittering confetti swirled around her. Her mother and Noah rushed on stage, and Amelia fell into their arms, shaking with happiness. Amanda walked up to her, still emotional. "Amelia, that was one of the most breathtaking performances I have ever heard. Your voice is pure magic." Alicia nodded, wiping a tear. "I felt your heart in every single note." Bruno clutched his chest dramatically. "You reminded us all what real artistry sounds like." And then Simon spoke. "Amelia, that was flawless. You didn't just sing, you connected. You made everyone in this room feel something. That's rare. Your brother was absolutely right." The moment went viral instantly. By the next morning, Amelia's audition had exploded across social media. Fans from around the globe shared it with captions calling her "the girl with the angel voice," "Whitstable's miracle," and "the young singer who made Britain cry." Television morning shows replayed her audition repeatedly. Journalists wrote articles praising her talent. Music producers began reaching out. Through it all, Amelia remained grounded. She returned to Whitstable and tried to process the sudden whirlwind of attention. Her mother cried every time she rewatched the audition, and Noah proudly told everyone he met, "My sister is going to be a star." When preparations for the live shows began, Amelia approached them with determination, but also fear. The expectations were enormous. During rehearsals, she felt the pressure tightening in her chest. She struggled with confidence. Sometimes she broke down quietly, whispering to herself that she wasn't good enough, that maybe she didn't deserve this. One afternoon, feeling overwhelmed, she sat alone in a rehearsal room. Noah found her with her head buried in her hands. He placed the seashell necklace back around her neck and said in his soft, fearless voice, "Dad always said the biggest waves come from quiet waters. You're that wave, Amy." His words grounded her. She stood up, wiped her eyes, and returned to rehearsals with renewed strength. For the semi-finals, she chose to sing "Hallelujah," a song that required emotional subtlety more than vocal fireworks. When the night arrived, she stepped on stage wearing a simple white dress, looking like a glowing figure against the dark backdrop. The moment she began singing, the theater fell into another trance. Her voice carried a purity that felt almost spiritual. She sang softly, vulnerably, yet with emotional weight that made the entire audience lean in to listen. By the time she reached the final verse, it felt like she was pouring her heart into each word. When she finished, the judges stood instantly, applauding with admiration. Simon told her it was even better than her audition. She made it to the finals with the highest public votes of the evening. For the grand finale, Amelia took a bold step. She performed an original song titled "Voice of the Tides," inspired by her life, her town, her family, and the silent strength she carried for so long. The song was poetic, emotional, and hauntingly beautiful. As she sang, it felt like she opened her soul to the audience, sharing every piece of her journey. When she finished, the audience rose as one. The judges were emotional, speechless even. Simon wiped a tear as he whispered, "You didn't just win tonight, you created a moment." When the host announced the final results, everything seemed to move in slow motion. The winner of Britain's Got Talent 2025 is Amelia Hart. The theater exploded in celebration. Confetti, fireworks, cheers, everything blurred as Amelia stood there, stunned. Noah rushed into her arms, yelling, "You did it." Her mother joined them, crying with joy. Amelia could barely breathe. She couldn't believe the quiet girl who once sang only to herself now stood as Britain's newest star. In the months that followed, Amelia's life transformed. She signed a major record deal, performed at the Royal Variety Show, and released her debut album, which topped charts across the UK. Critics called her the most emotionally resonant vocalist of her generation. Fans adored her sincerity. Yet despite fame, Amelia stayed the same. She returned home often, walking along the Whitstable shoreline with Noah, watching the waves her father once loved. One evening, as the sunset painted the sky orange, she whispered, "I never thought this could be my life." Noah smiled up at her with pride. "I did." And as the waves washed over the sand and the wind carried the smell of the sea, Amelia Hart realized that the voice she once kept hidden had become the voice that took over Britain, one filled with strength, emotion, and the power to touch hearts. And her journey was only just beginning.